The snake woman is fleeing through the forest while hunters chase behind, but the real danger comes from her best friend who suddenly appears and picks up a stick with deadly rage. Extreme jealousy from seeing her lover with the snake woman yesterday turned her into a monster. Driven by pure anger, she strikes the snake woman from behind despite the piercing screams. The brutal blow knocks the snake woman down onto the ground, in extreme agony. But the cruelty does not stop there as her best friend pulls out a large machete from behind intending to end her life. The helpless snake woman can only cover her face and cry in ultimate despair. Meanwhile, her desperate lover is sprinting through the deep forest to rescue her, but is suddenly ambushed by a ruthless hunter, pointing a gun directly at him to block his way, blocked by the red-jacketed hunter's gun. The young man barely has time to react before another enemy ambushes him from behind. Surrounded by two deadly weapons, he risks his life to fight back, but is brutally knocked down to the ground. Just when all hope of rescuing the snake woman seems lost, the young man suddenly fights back fiercely, disarming his opponent and slamming the black-jacketed hunter down in an epic reversal. After disarming the enemy, the young man fiercely breaks the gun in half and tosses it away. Despite his bleeding arm, he immediately charges into close combat and kicks the black-jacketed hunter down. Just when he seems to win the fight, the red-jacketed hunter suddenly strikes him from behind with the gun stock, knocking him straight to the muddy ground in shock. The two furious hunters savagely assault the young man together and knock him down. The brutal blows leave him groaning in pain on the muddy ground, with blood splattered across his face. Just then the girl from their own hunter group rushes over to join them. After that, the fierce gang immediately turns around to move on, leaving the helpless young man barely breathing as he watches the wicked people walk away. The young man completely collapses with a blood-stained face. Meanwhile, the best friend turns back to confront the snake woman to pour out all her bitter hatred and jealousy from the bottom of her heart. Looking at her once close friend, now being so cruel, the snake woman can only endure the pain and ultimate helplessness. The atmosphere becomes even more suffocating as deep hurts push their friendship into a dark dead end, with no turning back. Driven by jealousy, the best friend repeatedly swings her machete past the snake woman's face, forcing her to dodge. Two sharp slashes graze her arm, leaving it bleeding in pain. Right after that, the snake woman can only cry and beg for mercy, answered by the resentful and regretful screams of her best friend, as their friendship completely shatters. Under this bitter betrayal, just as the best friend is about to strike the snake woman, a female ghost in black steps in to stop her. The best friend holds the sharp blade against her neck, but this female ghost only responds with a wicked smile. In a flash, she locks her wrist and pushes the best friend down the dirt slope. Looking at the defeated girl, the female ghost shows intense hatred and spits in disgust with a terrifying glare. The female ghost resentfully blames the best friend's cruelty for causing her suffering and turning her into this eerie form. Hearing this, the best friend is deeply shocked and stands up to demand what she did wrong. While the snake woman can only watch their conflict in helplessness, the female ghost coldly dodges an attack and tightly strangles the best friend, lifting her up into the air as punishment. With supreme strength, the female ghost forcefully throws the best friend meters away and sends her flying down the steep slope, leaving her unconscious on the ground. After dealing with the villain, she coldly turns back to the snake woman and uses her machete tip to lift the wicker basket decisively. Right after that, she gently takes her hand and helps the snake woman stand up to leave this dangerous place together in peace. Meanwhile, two men from the pursuit group rush down the slope to help the best friend stand up. Seeing her in pain, they ask what happened, and she immediately points toward the snake woman's escape route. Right after that, all three people dash off to hunt them down. In another scene, the female ghost and the snake woman are resting back to back in the forest when they hear a noise. Sensing danger, they both look back alertly. The two men from before have caught up, making the snake woman terrified, while the female ghost instantly stands in front, pointing a finger in a cold warning. The two youths hesitate for a moment before launching a sudden aggressive attack. But the female ghost remains unfazed as she swiftly dodges the blow and firmly locks the enemy's arm, leaving them startled. With superior martial arts, the female ghost strikes decisively, slamming the gray shirt man against a tree, then quickly spins around with a powerful kick that knocks the black shirt man flat onto the ground in pain. Witnessing this immense power, the gray shirt man can only stare wide-eyed in absolute shock, while the snake woman looks on in confusion. Helplessly lying on the grass, the black shirt man bitterly realizes they are no match for this terrifying ghost. At this moment, a man from the previous pursuit group suddenly rushes down the hill, pointing his shotgun to threaten the two girls. Right after that, the girl in the black tank top and the remaining accomplices quickly arrive to form an overwhelming encirclement. Facing the gun and the surrounding enemies, the female ghost shows no fear, but instead sports a sinister smirk, as if defying the entire group of pursuers. In a split second, another man brandishing a gun rushes out, making the snake woman panic while the female ghost maintains a contemptuous glare. The kicked man tries to get up amidst the heavy encirclement. Suddenly, two gunshots ring out, then the red shirt man aggressively hits her head with his gun butt, and his accomplice follows with another fatal blow, knocking her to the ground as the snake woman screams in horror. Seeing the ghost motionless, the snake woman looks around in panic and flees. Three people immediately pursue her. Meanwhile, the remaining three, including the heavy man, the gunman, and the fallen man, stay to guard the female ghost, who is writhing and shaking in pain. Meanwhile, the snake woman collapses with her large pregnant belly, writhing and screaming as if going into labor. A true nightmare unfolds, as the snake woman constantly screams in intense agony in the deep forest, clutching her severe contracting pregnant belly with all her might. The excruciating labor pains leave her completely exhausted, lying flat on the cold ground, but still writhing in tears. With no one around to help, she can only endure this ultimate physical and mental torture, all by herself as the time to give birth is drawing near. The snake woman's agonizing screams echo across the vast and densely foggy mountains. After a life-or-death moment of almost fainting from total exhaustion, she resiliently succeeds in giving birth. Amidst the treacherous clifftop, she quietly holds her newborn baby close to her heart, to soothe and protect the tiny soul. Holding her newborn baby tightly, the snake woman sheds tears of joy looking at her child affectionately. However, the storm is not over as the enemies are still hunting them, and what will be the fate of this half-human, half-snake child? Will they escape, or is another horrific massacre about to begin? Hit follow to watch the next part.